Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball.
This week, come out to the ballpark as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park for a homestand on June 10th. For a 5-game series as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Individual game tickets start at just $12.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
I'm thinking about Bill Pulte, Pulte. Until recently, he was the director of the Federal Housing Authority. I think that's within HUD. And he's a very sharp guy. He's a successful businessman in his late 30s. And he gave big money to President Trump. And President Trump put him in that job. Now, I would imagine he probably didn't think it was the best job in the world when he got it. You know, people see themselves as being secretary of this, director of that. But the Federal Housing Authority, he made the most of it. And he found some stuff on Tish James and also Adam Schiff and these weirdos in their real estate. And he did a great job. And now he is the acting director of national intelligence. Talk about a promotion. Congratulations to Bill Pulte. I'm joined now by Roger Stone, who knows politics, who knows presidential history, and knows clothes like nobody else in the world. Roger, welcome back. What do you think? Tell us about your friend Bill.
Greg, this is a gut punch to the deep state and the Central Intelligence Agency. Tulsi Gabbard, a fellow veteran with you, fellow combat veteran with you, did an extraordinary job. She declassified all the documents that proved that Russia was a hoax. She declassified all the documents that showed that the Trump impeachment was a hoax. She is working on exposing the origins of COVID-19. I expect that report before she leaves office on June 13th. So she is a courageous truth teller. And the CIA had undermined her at every step of the way, and they had hoped to put one of their stooges into this position. And Senator Tom Cotton, who's not qualified to be a U.S. Senator, in my opinion, was trying to move the declassification authority away from the Office of Director of Intelligence over to the CIA, in which case we would never learn the truth about anything whatsoever. Bill Pulte is a very smart, very tough, very gutsy guy, a highly capable guy whose loyalty is extraordinarily and completely to the President of the United States. So they are in shock because they didn't get some deep state insider who would continue the cover-up. They get a guy who is committed to the truth. It's a brilliant appointment.
Can I ask you, and I'm with you, it sounds great, but I'm a little bit, I'm perturbed. I mean, Tom Cotton, when I see him, I like him. What's the deal with Tom Cotton, and what's the deal with John Radcliffe, who's the director of the CIA?
Well, John Radcliffe could have declassified the Russian collusion documents in 2015. He had them, he read them, he knew what was in them. Why didn't he do so? Was it a lack of courage? I mean, he's got a very strong jaw, I'll say that, but was it a lack of courage? Because that issue couldn't have been used on us in the 2020 elections. Why did the CIA move last week to take back 40 boxes of documents that have not yet been disqualified regarding the Kennedy assassination and MK Ultra 14 and MK Ultra, the CIA's very famous mind altering program that they used in the 60s and the 70s. So, look, I'm not here to attack anyone else. All I can tell you is the job of being the head of the Federal Housing Finance Authority means he's also the chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and he increased their value to $10 billion during the time he had that job.
Wow. Oh, boy. Hey, listen, I'd like to get your take on it. I know it's not definitive, it's not final, but to me, it really spells an optimistic look on the year, midterms. Spencer Pratt and Steve Hilton coming out on top or close to on top in these primaries. Am I reading too much into these preliminary results?
Yes, but only in the sense of California. California has what they call a jungle primary, in which any candidate of every party can run. So what happens is you have one viable Republican, Steve Hilton, good man. He'll get the base Republican vote. Now you have 6 Democrats running. Somebody will be second, somebody will be third, somebody will be fourth. When the top vote getter doesn't get 50%, the 2 top vote getters run off against each other. At that point, the Democrats coalesce. They outnumber us tremendously. It will be very tough for Steve Hilton, who I think is a very good man. Spencer Pratt's a little different situation. He's kind of a internet-based phenomena. Mayor Bass, who, by the way, admits that her 2 heroes in politics are mass murderer Mao Zedong and the brutal dictator Fidel Castro. Those are her heroes. Gives you some idea about her. She's never come up with a decent explanation for the Palisades fires, other than the fact that they have no intention of ever rebuilding. So at a certain point, I think the voters of LA are getting increasingly fed up, unlike the fact that Spratt has very, very cleverly used the internet and used the ability to be entertaining to get into this race. He's entertaining the voters. And you know what Richard Nixon said. In politics, the only thing worse than boring only thing being worse than wrong is being boring.
That's interesting. The guy was great. You knew him. That's awesome. Hey, real quick, where did she really say that about Mao Zedong? Is she on camera saying that? I'd love to use that.
You can absolutely find that. She made multiple trips to Cuba on her vacations, and she has held out that Mao is her one of her many heroes.
That's something else. Hey,
I guess Nikita Khrushchev probably slipped her mind.
Let me get you on this real quick. I got a poll here from Marquette University. They're no slouch when it comes to this stuff. A generic congressional ballot. Democrats 46%, Republicans 45%. Some people in my world are saying this is huge, and it's a really good sign for Republicans in this midterm election year. Am I reading too much into that, sir?
No, not at all. I think you've hit this right on the head. I noticed that this morning, and your analysis is right on the money. Generically, we're moving into a much stronger position. Incidentally, the other kind of harbinger of this is when the Virginians put their outrageous congressional redistricting plan on the ballot in Florida, in Virginia, which would have been taking that state's delegation from 6 Democrats to 5 Republican members of the House to 10 Democrats and 1 Republican. They put it on the ballot. The Republicans decided that there was no way to beat this at the polls. They would fight it in the courts. They put up almost no effort. Greg, they lost very, very narrowly. That's a very good sign. And then the courts knocked it out entirely, so they're back to 6-5.
Fascinating. So fascinating. Hey, RogerStoneSuits.com, RogerStoneSuits.com. For decades, the clothes of Roger Stone, the stuff of legend, absolute legend, and now you can, for affordable prices, really. I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm a customer. As soon as I lose another 8 pounds, and by the way, the rate I'm going, probably be next week, Roger. I'm on the GLP.
Excellent.
How is this? Tell us about the venture. And I just love the look, especially you got a lot of double-breasted. Tell us about the advantage of a double-breasted, please.
Well, you know, if you get soup on your tie, it's much more difficult. That's one advantage. But in all honesty, it's all a matter of personal preference. We have obviously 2-button, 3-button, single button. All I wanted to do here is provide the real basics: a solid navy blazer, 3-button or 2-button, could be in linen, could be in woolen, nice double or single-breasted seersucker suit, nice linen colored, kind of wheat-covered 3-button jacket with light gray trousers. All the basics that a young gentleman needs to get started, but will never be out of style. Remember this: fashion is fleeting, style is enduring.
Tell me the difference. Now, I get it, but I don't think I could articulate it. What's the difference?
Here's the difference. Ties get thinner, ties get thicker. Women's skirts go up, women's skirts go down. But the naval blazer, double or single breast, will always be in style. So fashion is temporary. It's tuned to the marketplace. In other words, if thin ties are popular, suddenly we can make wider ties popular to make more money, to sell new ties. If you stick with the standards, if you stick with the classics, you can never go wrong.
Roger, real quick, I was very excited. I guess last week we found out about the $1.8 billion fund for those victims of weaponization, government weaponization, lawfare. A bunch of Rhino Republicans in the U.S. Senate didn't like it, and they made it very difficult. And I think they sent the message that you can't do this, and it's been pulled off the table for now. I'm disappointed, but I'm reminding my January 6th friends, first of all, President Trump tried to do this. Also, President Trump signed those pardons day one, and nobody else was really calling for that other than, certain people. And he didn't have to do that, and he did it, and it's amazing. And they should not lose faith in President Trump.
Well, Greg, look, I love President Trump, but for him, I wouldn't be with you today. I'd be 6 feet under. So, but I do think from a strategic point of view, what the president should have done is settled the case, then taken the money from the settlement, which he would have won, put it into 501c3, and then administered the fund himself. By allowing to do it the way they did, letting the government administer the fund, he got a bunch of activist judges and Rhino Republican senators in the way. I spoke to Jeff Clark 2 nights ago, smartest lawyer in the world. Trump should have settled the suit, taken the money, put it into a private fund, and dispensed it. The courts and the senators would have had no standing whatsoever to stop him. Don't give up on Donald Trump. He's going to try to get this done another way.
Yeah, no way. We'll never give up. And I like that idea. I didn't realize that could be done. Now I understand it. Well, RogerStoneSuits.com, RogerStoneSuits.com. You'll have an adventure on the website. It really is interesting stuff. Where is this clothing made? And by the way, that's not a gotcha question. If I were making stuff, I'd have to make it somewhere too. Where is this stuff made?
You're going to love this. So the Washington Post claims it's made in China. It's made right outside of Pittsburgh. We get the best fabrics from Italy and from the UK. We got a wide selection and a wide price range, but the actual suit is sewn together and constructed right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Made in America.
How about that? Everybody? Well done, Roger Stone. Well done. I knew it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, Roger Stone, RogerStoneSuits.com. You want to say something else, Roger?
Yeah. As soon as you lose that 8 pounds and you get your new jacket, I'm going to come up so we can have dinner.
I would love it. Maybe one of those Richard Nixon martinis to wash it all down. Thank you, Roger Stone.
That sounds good.
We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you soon.
One summer moment can change a child's life. Through Toys for Tots Give and Go initiative, your support provides books, games, toys, and outdoor adventures that spark curiosity, creativity, and a love of nature. Whether it's fishing, learning a new sport, reading under a tree, or playing with friends, these moments build confidence and lifelong memories. For too many children, those moments never come. You can help change that this summer. Visit toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots, delivering hope beyond the holidays.